All right, let's dive into a little Bo Nix. I thought this was one of his better games that I've seen him play. Some big-time throws in this game, obviously against a really quality opponent in the Packers defense. So let's dive in. Let me show you what I'm seeing, and big reason why this team is the #1 seed in the AFC. All right, so they're going to run kind of a dagger combination. So dagger, some form of a clear out. What I like to do is the influence post, so I can influence that nearest safety, but there's a lot of variations of that. Then we're going to run the big end, which is the dagger part of it, and then something to attack this hook area on the field. They're going to run the back out here into the flat, so that doesn't really do it because that pulls the flat defender, so we're going to bring a shallow back to this side here, has the ability to stop, run through, and so now we can get that true high-low off of that hook defender. All right, so as we come back, eyes on this hook defender right here. Now, this is one of the things, and I think Bo does a lot of things really, really well, especially early in games. I feel like he's very conservative with his decision-making and throws, getting a lot of checkdowns and getting a lot of completions as opposed to pushing the ball down the field. Like, I've seen him throw this big in so many times over the last couple years, and he throws it actually really, really well. I think one of the better throwers of this big in the National Football League. And so I'd love to see in these types of situations, you're going to see this guy right here, flat-footed, feet parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be ready to come and jump this shallow. See right there? Okay, so see, Bo's already kind of decided to throw it right here. Instead of allowing this guy to kind of get there or see that this guy's flat-footed, and then you make that up and overthrow on the end right here. Love to see him do a little bit more of that, pushing the ball down the field, because I definitely think he can do it, and this tape is going to show you his ability to throw the ball down the field. But nothing wrong with this. You can see why this guy sits in between the hashes. That's another thing. I always like this guy to have to get to that hook area so we get a true high-low. We don't let somebody else on the inside cover us, but he sits down. We get a completion right there. Positive play. You're never mad at a positive play. It's just I want to see him kind of push the envelope and believe, and again, maybe not with their good defense and everything, but believe he's going to have to, push the envelope a little bit more against some of the better teams come playoff time. And it's one of the things, like, he will push the envelope, especially later in games when he knows he needs to, and you see him make so many of those plays, and that to me is the next step for him, because I believe he can make them. Now it's just make them more consistently. And man, it'd be a really tough team to beat with that defense and him making big-time throw after big-time throw. I think he's really good at these quick routes, okay? So this is a route right here that I like to call bullets, okay? So it's a half swing, half shoot. If he doesn't get the ball, he continues to go down outside the numbers. And then you got a little hook to the inside. I'm not usually a fan of this against cover two high safety, and then a corner sitting outside and a hook defender inside. They have the ability to cover it. I'm more of a fan when this corner is in an off position here. He's in an off position, so now I get the quick throw here to the back, and then if this backer wants to push past him, now I just replace him with the hook. When they've got two guys out there, not as big a fan of this play, okay? But this defender, instead of getting width, gets depth, so now we get the inside out off of that corner. And again, you see the quick decision by Bo. He sees all I'm looking for is this guy to get inside the corner, this guy to get any width at all and stay outside of it. Right there, you see he gets a little bit of width, but boom, we get inside of him. I am ready to take that right now. Ball's out of his hands. Great quick completion before anybody can react, and we move the chains. But that's going to show up over and over again, his ability to get the ball out quick and make those quick, good decisions. Okay, really good right here. Okay, so it's going to be a pressure situation right here by the Packers. Got everybody up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, 7 guys up. If we're going to chip this tight end or leave that tight end in the block along with the back, we can block all 7 of these guys. So we're in great shape. If one of those guys is getting out, then we got to be ready for a hot type situation. But you see, we just have a little bit of a chip right there, and the offensive line does a good job of being able to kind of squeeze this off. We get a little chip by the tight end. Back does a nice job coming over. But with the interior pressure, we've got double curls on the outside. With the interior pressure is when we always like to look inside. Now, a lot of these, Hank concepts or a deep Hank concept where you got a guy over the ball, they tell their guys to read inside first. I like to read outside first unless I get that interior pressure, which he gets right here. He gets interior pressure. So you see, you get interior pressure. There's nobody in here. And so he does a great job of finding and replacing that pressure with throw. Good vision, good feel, boom. Nice throw. It's one thing he does. Sometimes I feel like he moves his feet a little bit too much in the pocket, but I also believe he's one of the best throwers on the move with his feet moving in the National Football League. So it doesn't cost him that much, and I know he feels comfortable with his feet moving. And great job right there. You see just a quick movement, boom, rips that ball out of there for a nice little chunk play. But I think he's got really good awareness, of those kinds of things. The interior pressure, boom, ball out of his hands, pressure coming, to be able to feel and move away from it and create positive plays. Okay, everybody knows my favorite play in football, the mesh play, shallow, hook over the ball against zone. Okay, and again, we can say what we want. This receiver sits down way in here, which I guess if you're allowed to do that, I guess you can technically get some sort of high-low in here. But if he goes 2 more steps, we got covered. Okay, so it's one of the reasons, especially at the NFL level, because of where the hashes are, you don't have quite as much space. And so, good defenses just pass it off kind of like this, and you don't have a whole lot of options against mesh. But, again, this is what he does well. Nothing really there. He's going to buy some time, and as he buys time, this guy is able to get outside that hook defender or outside linebacker on the backside. Another really good throw on the run, turns into a touchdown right here. So a play that's basically covered, has a little bit of space. Again, if we complete this, he's getting banged by 2 guys right there. So instead, buy a little bit of time, gets outside, another nice perfect throw on the run to allow his guy to turn the corner and get a touchdown. Okay, I talked about the big time throws, the throws down the field. Okay, so they're going to basically run, okay, double out pumps. Okay, so it looks like all outs here. Okay, and then we're going to pump all of these. Okay, so it's kind of out and up. I call it ogre, an out and a go. But we're going to do that across the board right here. Okay, you get middle closed. You got options. If you get zone, we can read it like double seam and read these guys from seam to seam off of the free safety. If we get man or we like the one-on-one look on the outside, we've thrown this a number of times, then we take the outside look. So right here, like the quick pump, reset, but a great move down here, boom, by Sutton to be able to be definitive. And then you see perfect throw down the field or a big play. And that was a big part of what they did in this game, was the big plays down the field that eluded them a lot of times early in the season, starting to get back to hitting some of those. Love the play call there. They throw a lot of short, quick outs. Get that guy to jump, get that one-on-one on the outside. And as I said, Bo's got the ability to make all those throws down the field consistently. Here's another quick throw. And like the concept, that's another thing that I like, is that I think Coach Payton does a good job of giving him a lot of good concepts here. So we're going to run Poco. All right, post corner up at the top with the double slants down low. Okay, so double slants for me is when you're getting a too high look. Okay, so any too high look could be cover 4, could be cover 2. Okay, up to the top with the Poco is good against any corner off. Okay, what I say is corner off defense. So that could be cover 3, cover 4, some sort of man, but obviously all of this works against man. And so you get a chance to read it. This is what I call, it's not pure progression. We've had a lot of conversation about that. This is a full field read where it's pick your side based off of what you see. So the double slants down here, I always say, if we've got one underneath defender to that side, one underneath defender, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's cover 2 and this guy's rolled up or it's cover 4 and it looks like this. We've got one defender there that's got to take both of these slants, okay? So that's what he reads. Boom. Great job. He squeezes. And again, when we do this, quarterbacks, coaches out here, this is my primary. I'm always thinking outside slant when I get this. Now I'm going to verify that this guy doesn't go screaming out here to take the outside slant. If it does, obviously I replace to the inside. But I'm looking at this linebacker inside, and I don't need him to do a lot, right? We're already in a position where if he just stays there, I'm going to beat him with this slant. So he has got to move outside to take this away. Too many guys try to force this inside slant just because that slant runner gets inside the defender, even though the defender is squeezing and holding with him. So just like here, right? There, yeah, he gets inside of him, but that's not the throw. That's what we want. We want him to contact him. We want him to just hold in there, and we want to take the easy throw against off coverage to the outside. Again, really good at these quick concepts. Boom, ball out of his hands. All right, he gets quarters. Okay, so he can read down here on the double slants because we have one defender here, like I said, or he can read up top as well against quarters. Okay, so we got a corner off up there in quarters. We're going to read this safety if we go up here. That safety hesitates at all. Let's go try to get the post over the top. This safety gets depth. Now we get our high-low. Okay, so just like on the backside, we get an in and out. Okay, so we get an in and an out against one defender. A defender conflict play as opposed to pure progression. Defender conflict. Okay, up top, we're going to get defender conflict. We're going to have this outside linebacker that's in a bind for the deep corner and the flat if obviously he doesn't get any help on the back end. Okay, so he goes down to the slants, but if he goes up to the top, you see what you get. Safety gets depth. Here's the corner. Here's the flat. Here's the read. Okay, he's going to have both of them because the corner's getting outside of that guy. He can throw it up and over him. Corner's got enough depth, or I mean the defender has got enough depth. He could take the flat if he wants to. He's going to have everything he wants to that side as well. But he chose to come down here, which is a good decision. Get the ball out of his hands, 2-on-1. Nice throw right on the face mask. I mean, great ball placement right here. Okay, so they're going to run popcorn, and I love it. I love the details. I've talked a lot about these details. I'm sure Coach Payton and the offensive staff watched my video and learned from my video. I'm sure of it. Just kidding. No idea. But they're going to run popcorn. What is popcorn? Okay, so that's going to be a corner, okay, a pop, and a flat. Okay, so that's popcorn concept here. All right, so we want to read the flat defender. Okay, flat defender goes flying out here. Okay, so now we are going to try to beat this defender with the pop right here. Okay, so that's the goal of this play. We get down to the red zone. If this guy wants to get involved in a zone coverage, the corner wants to get involved on the pop, then that's when the corner comes into play. I like it much better down in the red zone because those deep defenders are hugging the goal line. Now we get a chance to go up over the top. If we're out in the field, then this corner is going to be sitting back here, and the corner route goes right to him, and so they have the ability to cover it better out in the field because the corner isn't really a viable option most times because we're running right into a deep defender that's just sitting there waiting for us. Like I said, tight red zone, I like it better because these DBs want to hug the goal line so there's better chances to get up over the top, okay? But what was I talking about in terms of what they learned from my video, okay? What they learned was this seam release right here, okay? This seam release. Just watch what it does to this guy. A lot of teams, when they run this, they just run the corner straight vertical, and then they run the pop off of it. And in doing that, this guy is never held off, and he can run and push through this and has a chance to get there. Watch this little move right there. Watch what it does. Look at number 7, right there, right there. What's he do? He stops his feet. There's a little bit of contact, right? He's trying to play through this corner, and what that does is that gives us just enough time. That gives Bo Nix, who throws this extremely quick, right, and reads it and puts the ball in the perfect position because it's tight. Because technically, in this coverage, they've got a flat defender, they've got a hook defender, and they've got a guy to cover the corner. Okay, it's one of the reasons why I told you I don't like popcorn. I don't like corner in most situations. I'd rather this guy sit in here, so now they're in more of a bind, or this guy to push up and run in, again, not down at the goal line, but out in the field, because now we're using the numbers against him. He can either cover the pop inside or the outside pop. He can either cover the in or the outside pop. He can't cover both. With the corner, he doesn't have to worry about it. But nonetheless, if you're going to run this, I love the switch release and the hesitation it causes number 7 right there, and that's enough, right? See this guy? See how he's going backwards as opposed to pushing through this? If we don't seam there, I guarantee you number 7 undercuts this or gets in a position to knock this thing down. But because of that seam release, it hesitates him just enough to give us this window on the outside shoulder. Always going to be tight down here. Boom, ball's away from him. He can't get there because of that hesitation, and we are golden. Okay, if you come out and you see the flat defender and you feel the corner squeeze and stay down, obviously you can get up over the top to the corner. As you see, that's going to pop open here on this particular play, but it starts with flat pop. He sees it, puts it on the back outside shoulder. Perfect throw, great timing for the touchdown. All right, threw this on here because there's been a lot of conversation about the pure progression. I've already mentioned that. Okay, and this is kind of like a pure progression type play. Okay, so they're going to run a bench route here, then they're going to run across here. Okay, this back here is actually running more of a check down. A lot of teams, when they run the pure progression play like this, they put this guy out in the flat. Okay, so it's corner, flat, or out, cross, then a deep curl, and then something in the flat over here. Okay, so that's kind of how they do it, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is how they read the pure progression. Okay, so I put this on here because I just like to talk about it. Okay, so I'm a guy that unless you have a great bench corner runner against one-on-one, I'm not a huge fan of that particular play because it's really hard for these guys against a good corner who's sitting outside to cross that guy's face. Okay, so let's watch this route, see what I'm talking about here. See how hard it is for that guy to cross his face because he's sitting outside and that's his leverage. Okay, and so whereas in pure progression, they're going to say, okay, I want you to look at this and see if he wins, and then if he doesn't, I want you to come back to this next thing here, and vice versa. We're going to read the out here first, and then we're going to go up to that corner route where I'm a guy that says, okay, if I get outside leverage on the corner route, boom, I'm off of that, and I am working back to my best look side, okay? So this particular play, okay, I get quarters, okay? So I'm just going to talk you through how I would run these types of plays, okay? So I get quarters here, meaning I've got outside leverage on the corner, by the corner, on the corner route. So I don't like it. So for me, right off the bat, I X this out. Okay, so now from there, okay, and this is what I call full field read, or I'm reading the coverage and basing my read off of that. So I am nixing that corner route because I don't think that's going to win. So now, here are my options. Okay, I've got a hook backside with the cross, or I've got a deep curl with a flat. Okay, both can be good against quarters. Okay, and so that's what I'm saying. I am off of the corner route, whereas Bo's looking at the corner route, giving this a chance. And again, this might not be full peel progression. It may just be, hey, I like my guy who runs corner route, so I'm going to give him a chance to win. No problem. But I don't like that, so now it's going to become a defender read play for me. So which way would I like to read this? I could read this backside linebacker, okay? Because I know in quarters coverage, because of my 3x1 down here, we're going to have 1, 2 underneath defenders to the field, to the 3 receivers, and I'm going to have 1 underneath defender to the backside. Okay, so I'm going to pick a defender to read. So I could read the backside guy. So just watch it with me. Reread that backside guy. There he goes. Where's he go? He goes and matches to the back. Boom. I'm going to replace him right there. Okay, I'm going to replace him right there with the throw. So that's one option that I have. Okay, the other option I have now, I guess Ingram here runs more of a hook than a flat. So maybe this is, it looks like a curl to me, but maybe it's supposed to be an in route instead of a curl. Not really sure because it kind of looks kind of funky here. But so I could read the backside guy if I wanted to read the 2-on-1 right here. Or what I could say is I believe this cross is going to hold off this defender enough that I'm going to work the flat defender. So I'm just going to say this guy's here, even though he doesn't run that. And I'm just going to say this is a curl just because of how this looks. So if that's the case, I'm going to say, okay, forget it. I don't like this backside. I don't want to read the backside one. I like the curl flat better. I'm going to go straight to the front side and read this out. Okay, straight to the front side. So just envision this guy going to the flat right here. Here's my conflict defender. Okay, then in that case, I am right over here. I am ready to throw the curl on time, and this guy's got to make a decision right here on what he's going to do. Bo trying to work through this, a little slow working through it, and again, that's why I think it's a pure progression just based on his eyes and where they're going, okay? And now he's got to get out of there with pressure. Like I said, if this guy's just wider right here, we're going to get a great pull on this guy. Boom, I'm back. I'm one-hinching it. I got my read, one or the other. Curl's definitely one, going to be open. Flat could be open if that guy holds it off. Now I'm playing faster. Now the ball's out of my hands, and I don't have to run and create by going through at this. 1, and again, I don't know if he looks at this guy. 2, 3. He got to go there. I'm coming out and going, nope, off. And so when I go off there, okay, I'm coming back and basically going, I say 1 to 2 because I'm thinking curl first. But really, I'm just reading this combination right here. You know, I'm forgetting the backside. I don't like it. I know what my coverage is. I'm going to read this defender on the front side, make sure I'm there on time so I can get the ball out quickly. And I'm not behind playing catch up and having to take off and run. So just one example of kind of pure progression versus the full field coverage-based read on a particular play. Okay, couple options right here. Okay, so they actually are going to run a seam and they're going to run another out and up right here. They're going to run on the backside. They're going to run a dig, and then they're going to get the back out here. So we got kind of options right here. Okay, so he could easily come to the backside and read this high-low here off of that hook defender. He's got a shot at the end right here. But he chose to go to the other side, okay, which no problem because we have a one-on-one, right? And that's probably how they look at this. If we get a cover 2 look, Okay, so if we get a cover 2 look, this safety goes over the top. This guy rolls over here. Okay, I don't necessarily like the double move here. I could read a 2-on-1 off the conversion, but I don't like the double move over there. So that's only against a corner off. If we get cover 2, let's come back and read the hook defender high-low on the backside if I get cover 2. So Bo comes out. He sees, and again, he kind of peeks back to this side for some reason. I'm not really sure exactly why. Maybe just to move the free safety. But he gets one high. He gets 1-on-1 over here. That's where I believe he's going to go with the football. And you see, it's going to win. It's going to be another huge play over to this side with the good throw. Unfortunately, just get pressure right here. So he doesn't have time to hang with it. Now he's got to go and create. And I put this on here too because this is what he does so well. When he gets on the move and has to create, throws really, really well. Even rolling to his left, turns his hips. Great second level throw for a chunk throw to the left side. I know a lot of people coming out wondering about his arm strength and all that stuff. Arm strength's not an issue. And if you could make these kinds of throws on the run, it's definitely not an issue. But a nice job there being able to create and make a play. Again, another big time throw. So this was, again, one of the differences in this game is down the stretch, the number of big throws down the field that were just money throws that he made. So we're just going to run just a hesitation, just a go route over here. Again, read the coverage. Boom, don't have safety help. They close the middle over here. Okay, you get 1-on-1. Boom. Holds the safety inside, right? Does a nice job with his eyes, right? See it. He knows exactly where he's going. Keep his eyes over here, and then he comes back and makes sure he sees this safety. That safety's more in the middle of the field, even if he's supposed to play some kind of quarters. He's not helping over the top, leaving 1-on-1 back here, and then just a dime. Perfect throw, right on the money, up and over. Can't throw it any better. Another touchdown right there. All right, almost an interception right here, but I really like it off the play action. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to run. All right, we got heavy personnel in there with the fullback, 2 tight ends. We're going to run the tight end on a 7 stop. We'll run the action, and we'll bring a flat there, and then this is what I call a pepper post. So it's not a normal post, and again, they might be running a normal post. I run more of a pepper post, which is a post to the backside pylon. Okay, that's what I call a pepper post. It's a backside pylon. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to grab any backside safety to that side. If we can grab him with the 7 stop, we can replace him over the top with this pepper post. So they come off the play fake right here, and that's exactly what you get. You get this guy to spin and turn right there. So we've got this post going to the back pylon, okay? And I use back pylon because that's where I want to throw the football as a quarterback. So they get exactly what they want. Bo's throwing this out there, and you see Bo leaves this a little bit too inside, okay? He's going to complete this most of the time. He ends up straightening him out just a little bit, allowing this safety back into play. And it's why, these landmarks and these details are so important. Okay, you get this guy to spin. I want you to throw this ball to the back pylon. Okay, and he's going to run 3 or 4 yards inside the pylon is where his angle is going to be as he comes out of this inside the pylon. So when I throw it to the pylon, he's going to naturally run right into that. Obviously, you get that safety to jump. You can even flatten him a little bit more if you need to, so it's not quite the pylon. We can throw it up and over outside the numbers just to keep him away from this guy right here. But I know Bo's going to want to have this one back because he just straightens him out just a little bit, slows him down just a little bit, and that's the other thing, right? You're throwing these things, and if you're throwing it right to him, you got to be perfect with the ball, right? You got to be perfect, and you got to get it out in front of him so this guy can't undercut it and all that stuff. If I throw it out in front of him, Now I don't have to be perfect. I throw it out in front of him, and now he can make the adjustment he needs to make. He can slow down and making sure the defender has to come through him to get the ball, but he can make that adjustment and gives me more margin for error when I throw it to the open spot and allow him to adjust, as opposed to trying to throw it right to him and be perfect, and now I'm just a touch short with the ball, right? And you see kind of where he's going here. Just a little bit more of an angle on this throw to that back pylon. Again, you could even throw it to the front pylon when you've got this kind of look. Flatten him out to get a big play, even if you're not going to get a touchdown. Just a missed opportunity right there. Not an easy throw by any means, a long throw, but just use your space and take a 45-yard gain, even if you got to pass up a touchdown. Love this right here. Okay, and again, we'll simplify it a little bit. Come off the play action. We're going to try to get this in skinny post right here. You don't have it, it's simple, right? These guys don't bite up on the fake and they're in the way. Great, just work right out to your deep stop over there and then to your check down. Nice process right here. He comes off the fake. Boom, we got bodies. He knows he's got one-on-one over here. Just come out. Nice ball. Could be a little bit quicker. I'd like to see him just one hitch instead of two. But nonetheless, really good throw. Good route on the outside. I think that's Franklin. Turn his guy around. And a good throw on the deep stop. Good decision with one-on-one to the outside. A lot of really good throws down the field in this one. It's probably my favorite of all of them. Okay, so we're going to run combination here of kind of an in or a skinny post. Then we're going to run a wheel over here with the back checking and coming underneath it. Really good concept over here against a lot of different coverages. Then we're going to run a porch combination over here. Okay, so you hear me talk about Poco all the time. Okay, so Poco is a post corner. Okay, this, as you can see, is a post corner as well, but I call it porch. Okay, so it comes off of Poco. So it's a porch, but the CH at the end stands for a switch Poco. All right, so again, stay with me here. Stay with me here. So Poco is a post corner, but the post goes first, then the corner comes off of it. Okay? The switch Poco or porch is the opposite. Now we're going to go with the corner first. Corner's going to go first, and then the post is going to come underneath it. So we're trying to get, right, whatever goes first, we're trying to get the safety to grab that. So if it's Poco, we want the safety to grab the post, and then we're going to try to get the corner. When we run porch, we're going to try to get the safety to grab the corner, and we're going to try to hit the post. Okay, so we're going to come back here. Okay, and I say safety, it's really the deep defender. Okay, because they run kind of an invert cover too, so he's playing the safety there. But we're simply going to read this guy. Okay, because we run in the corner first, we're hoping he takes the corner, and then we're going to hit the post up inside of him and underneath. Okay, and so there it is. See it right there? He's already wide. He stops his feet, and he starts to go out here. Great throw up and over the top of this backer who's deep, right? So we talked about that big in early on and getting it up and down over the top. I know Bo can do it. I've seen him do it, but here's another example of it. See how deep that defender is? He's got to get this post up and over the top. Boom. No problem. Getting it up and over. Good read. All I'm looking for is that safety to stay high, the post to cross the face, and boom. There it is right there. Really well done. Okay, so they get a too high look back here. Okay, so we can come off and we can read this guy. If this guy stays high on him there, then we're going to get our high-low wheel to swing over to this side. So you're looking for the perfect look up top. You get it with the too high. Perfect. I'll stay to the porch. I don't get it, I'm going to read down here. Okay, so if he reads down here, right, doesn't have that, this guy takes it away, this guy's running with the wheel, there's the throw and the read off of the defender on the bottom side, and he'd be throwing it to the swing right there, but a great up and over throw, a great job going up to make that high point catch. Really good throw right here. Okay, just kind of a, I don't know if this is a post over combination. Okay, so we're going to run a post here. This almost looks like an over, but this could be a double dig combination. Okay, let's just run this again. Okay, so you see it could be a double dig combination. So if it's a double dig combination, again, we can read this a couple different ways here. All right, so we're going to do this and come out here. We're going to have double digs out to this side. Tight end hopefully is going to chip into the hook. Okay, so we're getting kind of a quarters look again. So if we want to, we can come back and read this safety first in a quarters look. Okay, so I come back and read that safety. That safety just, even though he turns to this side, he gets a lot of depth here. So I don't really think that I have this post right here. So if that's the case, I could come back like that pure progression and read this defender right here, especially if this guy's going to the backside swing. But I can read that defender. He stays high, I just take my back. I get him to come down. Now I recover into that hole, that same hole we were talking about before, just like this, okay? He gets this guy to come down. There's a window right here, and we could take that throw, and he does right here. Really good throw back behind that linebacker. And you can see it. His eyes and feet are over to this side. Get this guy to move. Boom. I'm going to replace him right there, okay? The other thing that we can do is we can read the next defender, okay? So we could read this defender to the strong side as well, and he gets a lot of depth here. Take away that in. We could replace over here to this side as well and just take the hook in that particular situation if we wanted to read it that way based off of the coverage. So a couple different options of how we want to do it. We could read this defender here to here. We could read this defender here to here. And we put a defender in conflict right here and find a window. But I really like this, wrapping it around that linebacker, keeping it low, keeping him flat, away from any safeties up above. Really good throw, moving the chains. Really good throw here on the run. Really didn't think he needed to be on the run. But they're going to basically run double deep curls here. Okay. Check, flat, check, flat. I don't have a guy go over the ball. Okay, so it's really just pick a side. We're going to mirror the concepts. You're really looking for any corner off concept. Read the flat defender to that side. Okay, so we've got corner off on both sides. I'd love to see him just kind of set right there. And I know there's pressure coming and all of that, but again, this is one area that I'd like to see him get a little bit better. Is just get back, get your depth, and set. Because you know you've got the looks that you want. Once you get your depth, you should have your read at that point. Does this guy get width and get outside the curl? Does this guy get depth and stay inside the curl? You should have your throw to one of these guys every time. Okay, you see it right here. I think he's throwing the curl. Yep, he's going to take a hit, but I'd rather that than him having to do this and run over here and then throw it. He's good on the run. He makes this throw. Okay, he makes this throw right here. But you see the DB's right on top of him because he's a little bit late because he's got to buy time. Perfect throw with the ball. Good job by the receiver to come back and not let the defender get and beat him to the football. So it works out here. But I'd like to see Bo just get your depth, quick hitch it, anticipate it, throw it right off the ear of the outside linebacker, and complete this as he turns around so we don't have to depend on the perfect play on the move with all the moving parts. But the beautiful thing is, as he's learning, getting more comfortable with that part of it, he's really good throwing on the run, and he makes a lot of these plays. He makes them a little bit more difficult for himself, but he makes them. Oh, just missed right here on this play. Now, this is a 3rd and 3 play right here. So a lot of teams will run this, and they're going to run kind of a return over here, a one-step, what I call a slice, a one-step slant, which is a slice over here. So we're trying to get a rub if we get man-to-man coverage. We're trying to rub for the outside guy with this return, and then we're going to run the corner route up over the top. So to me, big picture. What do I mean by big picture? Okay, first it's 3rd and 2. Okay, so I'm thinking move the chains. That's first big picture. Second thing about the big picture is see the relationship in man of these 3 guys. Okay, so once I see that relationship, and specifically on the outside 2 guys, I'm saying to myself, this is going to be a walk for a first down. That is going to be an easy completion for a first down. There is no way this guy is going to be able to get over the top of this return and beat this one-step slice to the ball before I get the ball to him. Okay, so just watch as we come out. Boom, there it is right there. Easy completion. We got exactly what we wanted. Because that guy's in off coverage, he's got no real chance. Just give him the football right here and let him rock and roll, get us the first down, probably a big play anyways. Okay, so we're in perfect position right there to get what we want. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with this. We get man-to-man coverage. We get everything we want. We've got our favorite receiver in that man-to-man coverage. He's got no help out there. There's nothing wrong with taking that. I just hate passing up an easy first down and moving the chains when I know that I've got the perfect picture to the outside. Okay? If this guy was up in press, okay, it's not necessarily the perfect picture. Now, I'm still going to read it that way because I know I can read the underneath slice and get back to the corner. I got plenty of time. The corner takes longer to develop. So I'm definitely going to still read it and see if I can get a possible rub, but I know there's a chance because this guy's in press, he just matches right to the slice and I don't get it. But if that happens, now I just recover up top to the corner, but I don't pass up an easy completion right there, okay? All that being said, okay, he goes to the corner. He's got it right here on the corner, all right? Now, the only thing that I would say is, again, throw him to the open space. Instead of trying to be perfect and lay it perfectly outside that defender, I would say you've got all this space. Go ahead and flatten him a little bit. Go ahead and flatten him with the throw. Throw him towards the sideline because I'm really just trying to get a completion here. I'm not worried about the touchdown and throwing a touchdown angle. I'm worried about a completion and the first down. So with this guy here, just throw it out and let him separate from that guy and get the completion. And again, we're not way off here, but see how he's throwing more of a touchdown angle up over the top here. I would just flatten him just a little bit. And I see it, right? This defender is maybe underneath him a little bit, so I want to throw it up over the top. It's just a harder throw that way. Yes, he's underneath him. Just let your guy separate. Throw this ball here instead of here, and he could still run away from that guy. There's still, again, more margin for error when I throw him and I allow him to adjust the angle. And we don't miss by much, but you see how we allow, because we're throwing at a little higher angle, we allow the free safety to get involved, and we just miss a little bit deep. Now maybe we don't miss. Maybe it looks like he's can't quite get there anyways. But anyways, throw it early, throw it a little bit flatter, allow your receiver to be able to adjust to it so you don't have to be perfect with the throw, right? Because trying to make these deep throws perfect, right? We either hit or miss. I can be a little bit off if I can adjust his angle, and now he can slow down, he can speed up, he can change his angle to help me out. So missed opportunity right there. But not a horrible decision by any means. We got what we want right here. I just like the easy one, the easy completion for the first down. And it's something that I think a lot of young quarterbacks have to grow into is understanding the big picture. Not just saying, oh, I got Cortland Sutton man-to-man with the safety. Great, I love that. I love that matchup. Well, yeah, you do love the matchup. But let's see the rest of the picture. Oh, the outside corner's off, and I've got a quick one step where he's got no chance to cover it, and we only need 2 yards for first down. Take it, right? That's what Tom Brady did so well is he took what the defense gave him, didn't try to force the big plays unless he got the perfect situation or a bad look on the other ones. He's just going to keep taking the easy ones over and over again. Oh, man. Love this, right? So they went for it on third down. They missed that corner route. Okay, Sean Payton staying aggressive and going, hey, we're going for it again. Okay, we are going to go for it on 4th and 2. And again, I love the confidence here. Okay, so they're going to run a little cross right here. They're going to run another kind of one-step slice right here, which again, shorter throws, easier throws. So I'm thinking here, okay, got press across the board. I do like the go route out here, with press because they could take it away. I got a body in here. I don't know if that's going to be available for me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm thinking go route on the outside because I don't have the perfect look anywhere else. But if this guy wants to bring pressure, I'm going to just peek this as I'm coming off. I can always, again, recover to the go route because that's thrown more down the field. I'm just going to peek that right there. Oh, here he comes. Boom. There we go. I'm going to replace him. Talk about a pressure plan. Talk about a hot plan, even though I'm not hot technically. He's not coming free. But they void that. Man, I'd love to just hit that quick little slant right there. And again, move the chains for sure. But he's got great confidence with this guy. He's got great confidence in his ability to throw go routes and another perfect throw right on the money to the outside shoulder in a key moment. That's how you beat good teams in the NFL. This is how you win, 10, 11 games in a row, is you do this sort of stuff in critical moments. So I probably would have been taking this quick little slant right here, replacing the pressure, getting the first down. Bo's saying, forget it. I'm going for the big play. I got confidence in my guy. I got confidence in myself. Boom. Got what we want. Okay? The other option here is we're going to run, I'm not sure if this guy's running a post here, but great teaching right here. They're going to run a flat out to this side, right? Because this is what they're going to do. Kind of a pure progression type play to the backside. Where I come out here, I can always alert this post, but really, I'm going to go 1, I'm going to go 2, I'm going to go 3, and I'm going to work this across, hoping to get man-to-man coverage. But this tight end at the top does a great job. Watch him come off. Oh, he sees this guy's going to cover man on the back. Great teaching. Just run through him, right? Run through him on your route. Slow down and just look at that, okay? Don't bang into him. Just kind of run through him, but great awareness because that's all I need. You give me that right there. Bo could easily take this as well for a first down. Bring in pressure, got man-to-man, could take that for a first down and then work back across the field if I wanted to. But he decides to go with the go route, throws a perfect throw, big play, leading to points. So, a lot of big-time throws in this game. You see a lot of really good stuff from Bo Nix. Some areas to still grow, and that's the beautiful part. Second year, not a finished product. Team's a number 1 seed, winning a lot of games, making critical plays in big moments, and still has room to grow. That is a beautiful thing if you're a Denver Broncos fan.